May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be pleasing in your sight, Lord, for you are my strength and my Redeemer. My brothers and sisters, I've been given 5 to 8 minutes to give you this information. And most of you who have heard me preach over the years know that my salutation is 5 minutes. And so I had to come up with a way that I could give you this message and my salutation all at one time. And I came up with the perfect solution, and that is to put the salutation in the message. So my fellow graduates, I salute you today. You fought the good fight, you kept the faith, and you finished the course. To all of you, friends, family, I salute you today because you are a big reason why we're all here. Through your financial support, understanding that the College of Biblical Studies uses 40% of what you give to help us in our tuition. Many of you travel long and extensive places, and you've sacrificed to be here today for us, and I salute you. You've given us words of encouragement and sometimes words of discouragement. Like, "Old man, are you sure you want to go back to college?" You've heard that before, huh? I salute the staff and the faculty here at CBS for their great work. Dr. Sullivan, who pushed us to limits that we didn't think that we'd get through. Amen. And yes, it's true, Dr. Sullivan. Some of us was asking the question, has he lost his mind? To Dr. Patricia Williams, who took the worst case of literacy and reading and stayed with me hours because she wanted to make sure when I was ready to give up, she wasn't ready to give up, and she stayed after class to make sure that I would learn how to write. I salute my wife today, who decided 10 years ago to be my wings and not my weight. And finally, I salute my hero today, my son, Sergeant Michael S. Haywood Jr. I salute my son not just because he's my son, but because he's done something that many of us will never have the chance to do or never even come close, and that is to go to one of the most hostile places in the world, spend 18 months there, and then come back without being a casualty, and also bringing men back without having one casualty. He's right now preparing. He couldn't be here today. He's preparing right now to go back. He's going to take 11 men with him this time. And his main focus and his main goal is to come back without being a casualty of his calling. Armies have long understood that the best way to make sure that you have limited casualties is that you have to have training. And that's why every army has basic combat training. And that's where a person learns to master his weaponry. Also, CBS has a basic combat training, and it's called our ABS program. And just like the Army, it's where we learn to master our weaponry. After basic combat training comes AIT, or Advanced Individual Training, and that's where a soldier learns his skill or his craft in a specific area of duty. Same thing here at CBS. We have an advanced training, and it's called our bachelor's program, and that's where we learn our specialties in fields such as leadership and Christian counseling. And then there's another level, and that's Officers Candidate School, OCS. And yes, CBS has an OCS. It's called DTS. So my fellow graduates, you're prepared now for the battlefield. You're prepared to go into battle because CBS has equipped you for any type of battle, whether it's a frontal assault, whether it's a cowardly car bomb, or even the worst of all, friendly fire. Yeah, y'all know about friendly fire, don't you? And so that training will do you such great work, but if you don't use the training, if you fail to use the training, you yourself will become a casualty of the call. In the 1 minute and 30 seconds that I have left, I want to give you 4 things from 2 Timothy chapter 2, verses 1 through 4. The same message that Paul briefed Timothy on to keep him from becoming a casualty of the call. And I'll take my seat. 4 quick things. Preachers, write it down. And as Dean Bird says, if you use this, send my 10% of my papados to First Presbyterian Church. 4 quick things, and I'll take my seat. The first thing is you've got to treasure the training. You've got to understand that the reason why you're in this training program is because of God's grace. Look at verse 1. It says, you therefore, my sons, be strong in the grace that is in Jesus Christ. Treasure the training. The second thing is you've got to treasure the team. Understand that everybody that comes up underneath you, you've got to strengthen and make them better than yourself. Verse 2, look at it. It's right there. It says, the things which you have heard from me in the presence of many witnesses, entrust them to faithful men who will be able to teach others also. Third thing is treasure the trials. Understand that every trial that was given to you is just for you. And it's important that you endure every trial that you go through. One must learn from his mistakes. Sir Richard Baxter, the 17th century writer, put it this way. He says, but if you cannot suffer for Christ, why was it that you first put your hand to his plow? And finally, number 4, treasure the training. Look at verse 4. It says, no soldier in active service entangles himself in the affairs of everyday life, so that he may please the one who has enlisted him. Now, see, that word please is very important because it's a little strong in original language. It literally means seek to please. In other words, don't make your pleasing God just a passing thing, but put some meaning behind it. So, preacher, how do we seek to please God? Very simple. Hebrews 11:6 says that without faith it is impossible to please God. And if you're going to please God, you've got to learn to trust him. I'm so glad that I've learned to trust in God. I've had some frontal attacks come my way. Yeah, and I've had some car bombs blow up in my face. I've even had some friendly fire from behind. But I'm so glad that I've learned to trust in Jesus. Oh, I wish I had a witness. I'm glad that I've learned to trust in God. Through it all, I've learned to trust in Jesus. Through it all, I've learned to trust in God. Through it all, I've learned to depend on his word. Anybody here today know how to trust God? Oh, I see somebody ready to trust him today. Don't become a casualty of the call.